No surprises. A change of bowling. Off spinner, Kizar Hayat is going to try his luck. Fires it in, as he loves doing. Bit of a stare at Siddhant. That's just whipped away. A chance for two, and they do double up. These two teams very familiar with each other. A number of Malaysia's players do play in Singapore's domestic leagues. Use of the feet, not to the pitch of the ball. Still, a single to long on. Like I was saying, a lot of Malaysians do play in the Singaporean leagues, including Virendeep Singh, Captain Ahmed Faiz as well, Syed Aziz Mubarak, and Pavandeep. That's whipped away on the leg side, very risky. One bounce, two bounces, but cut off there by deep mid-wicket. Malaysia still unable to string together consecutive dot balls. Siddhant, of course, coming off a half century in that first game against Thailand. And that's pulled away too short from Kizar Hayat. Just backward a square. Easy pickings for Surendran. Kizar probably just trying to tuck up Surendran. Erred a little too straight. Shorter, quicker. Once again, another chance for two. The running between the wickets has been really good from Singapore, and they make it easily. Not even the athletic Aminuddin Ramli could cut that off. Another good over. 11 runs off it. 44 for none after 5. A change of ends now for Pavandeep Singh. Malaysia desperate for a breakthrough. A slightly risky strategy here, though. Pavandeep will only have 1 over left after this. Siddhant on strike. Use of the feet once again. Just took his eyes off the ball a little bit. Down to fine leg. And now the danger man. What can he do with 5 balls remaining in the power play? Very important 5 balls in the context of the game. A big shot straight down the ground. And it goes all the way. So the move to persist with Pavandeep not paying dividends so far. $50 up for Singapore. 2 balls into the 6th over. That run rate creeping up to 10 runs and over. Does Surendran have another big hit in him? Chooses to just nurdle that away to fine leg. Siddhant, of course, the quieter of the 2 partners. Pressure perhaps just telling on Pavandeep there. It's not often that you see him bowl extras. Another big shot attempted. Just go straight to long on for a single. Whipped away once more. The great thing about Singapore's innings, even when they're not picking up the boundaries, they're still rotating the strikes. Couple of cheeky 2s as well. A big shot from Siddhant goes over extra cover, and that's going to run away for a boundary. And that concludes the power play, 59 for none. As we take a look at that replay. Early advantage to Singapore here. They will be eyeing something in the region of 170. And you'd have to say, given the conditions, an above par score. As we talked about earlier, Siddhant Singh, with that 50 in the first game against Thailand, much needed for Singapore, who've been looking for an opening partner for Surendran Chandramohan. Surendran, the more aggressive of the 2 so far. His 39 runs coming off just 21 balls. Siddhant providing able support. On the bowling front, it's not often you see Pavandeep Singh go for 26 in his first 3 overs. That's exactly what's happened, however. Shazrul and Kazar unable to keep them quiet. A change of bowling here. Left arm spinner, Fitri Sham into the attack. Let's see what he can do. And he's worked away for an easy 2. Let's ease down to Syed Aziz Mubarak at long off. Just coming in with the arm, that one. A mid-pitch conference between the two openers. And that's punched away once again into the covers. Nudged away once again. A call of 2 at first. Surendran sends Siddhant back. A call of 2 this time. Saeed Aziz Mubarak runs to his left. Can't cut off the 2. Still to come for Singapore, Rohan Rangarajan and Tim David. Perhaps we might see Tim coming up ahead of Rohan given this start. Manpreet Singh, wicketkeeper batsman. And then you've got the finisher, Janak Prakash and Aryaman Ochil. Just to look at the relative contributions here by both openers. Surendran, clearly the more aggressive. Siddhant, able in support. "66-run opening partnership so far. As the sun has been playing hide and seek with us here at TCG. It's back for now. I think I speak for everyone when I say I hope the sun stays away for a little while longer. That's probably not going to happen in Bangkok, though. Siddhant hasn't exactly been ultra aggressive, but only 5 dot balls in his innings so far, scoring off the vast majority of his deliveries. An athletic effort from Aminuddin Ramli, denying him an extra 5 runs. Had to scamper there. Siddhant Singh not responding in time from that call from Surendran Chandramohan. No harm, no foul though at the end. Siddhant makes it in easily. A change of bowling. Sharveen Muniandi, the new bowler. And that's pulled away. Siddhant with another boundary. First boundary for Singapore since the power play. Sort of a nothing delivery there from Sharveen Muniandi. Short of a length, didn't really bend his back, didn't get up too high. Easy pickings for Siddhant. A bigger shot this time, but he skied that up. Is that going to clear the man at extra cover? It does. Not before the batsmen get back for 2. The frustration simply grows for Malaysia. So frustrating when a ball is skied up in the air and just lands between two fielders. Siddhant now getting a move on as well. Straight to cover this time. Haven't seen much of that in the innings. Singapore hitting the ball straight to the fielder. Ahmed Fez, skipper of Malaysia, very busy in that game versus Thailand. A lot less work to do here today. A lot to think about though for the skipper. Another big shot attempted. That's into the leg side. A chance here. No, it isn't. It goes over the man at deep mid-wicket, Siddhant. Striking big. Things going from bad to worse now for Malaysia. 13 runs off the over so far. Sharveen Muniandi was expensive against Thailand as well. That's whipped off the legs. Cut off. A single to round things off. 14 runs off the over. After 8 overs, Singapore scoring at exactly 10 runs and over. Siddhant following up that 50 with yet another telling contribution. And none of Malaysia's bowlers have enjoyed any success or any fortune today. A strong partnership just keeps getting stronger for the Southeast Asian nation, Singapore. Just a quick change of gloves. Surendran, no doubt, would have been disappointed to miss out against Thailand. Fitrisham kept things quiet in his last over. Very sloppy start there. Just drifting down the leg side. Malaysia not nearly as chirpy as they were in the field in the first 2 games. And once again, just drifting down leg. Malaysia perhaps just out of ideas here, unsure of how to keep these two quiet. Finally gets one on target. That's punched away off the back foot. 2 is the call. And 2 it is. What this start has done is give Singapore the chance to just launch. As we mentioned, don't be surprised if Tim David walks in next. And that's pulled away. 1 bounce to Sharveen Muniandi at deep mid-wicket. A decent spell so far from Fitrisham. Just gone for 12 in his 10 balls. Follows that up with another dot ball. So some respite here for the Malaysians. No boundaries in the over so far. A full toss. Surendran unable to do anything with that. Yet another dot to round things off. Just 5 off that over. A much better one for Malaysia. It's 85 for none after 9. Siddhant now will be eyeing up. A 50 has a wild swing. Surendran just coming down to have a chat with Siddhant. Not much of a chat, just a punch of the gloves. Perhaps a message. Just keep doing what you're doing. Oh, a cheeky lap sweep. And he's going to get 4 just over the head of the fielders. Enthusiastic cheers there from the Singaporean dugout. Perhaps something that Siddhant has been practicing and training. During the T20 World Cup qualifiers in the UAE, we saw that from Naveen Baram in that famous innings, that one-man show against Bermuda. And now Siddhant following suit. Another swing. Doesn't make any contact, but he's got the license to swing. And that's slapped straight back to the bowler. Another diving effort. They just about make it in. Let's see how close this was on the replay. Oh, a direct hit, and it would have been close. Still just 5 runs off the over so far. And another dot. Surendran has not enjoyed much of the strike since the power play. And he eases that away to deep cover to round things off. Just 6 off this over. 11 runs off the last 2 overs. So at the halfway mark, Singapore are 91 for no loss. And every time we revisit the partnership card, we see 2 names up there. An unbeaten stand of 91 so far. Decent contributions from both openers. Surendran taking the early initiative. Siddhant, however, speeding up since the power play. Fitri Sham, the pick of the bowlers for Malaysia, and he is all set to continue. He's only gone at a run a ball so far. Malaysia still in search of that first wicket. Another wide. A few too many of these so far from Malaysia and Fitri Sham. That's flatter and faster. Just a single to Syed Aziz Mubarak at long off. As usual, it's Aminuddin Ramli there at long on. Fuller. Fitri Sham yet to concede a boundary. And again, right on target, just targeting the legs. Surendran wanted two there, not available. Aminuddin Ramli, not the easiest fielder to take on. He was in at lightning speed there from long on. Nudged away this time. The run rate now exactly 9 runs and over. Malaysia just dragging this back from 10 runs and over. A decent last 10 minutes or so. And he's bowled him. The tight bowling from Fitri Sham paying dividends. As we take a look at that on the replay, an all-important first wicket for Malaysia. Surendran just looking leg side just before being dismissed. And that one came on straight with the arm. Deadly accurate from Fitri Sham. A well-deserved wicket. He has been the pick of the bowlers. And we're going to get confirmation on who's coming out to bat next for Singapore. It looks like Tim David. An extremely important next few overs here for both teams. Tim David not having the best T20 World Cup qualifying campaign in the UAE or the best Big Bash for the Perth Scorchers. He, however, will be keen to make amends. And he's got the license to have a swing as well. A couple of times we did see him get dismissed a left arm spin at the T20 World Cup qualifiers, including getting out to Shem Ngoche, Kenyan skipper at the time, at a very crucial stage. Tim David, of course, his first game of the tournament, unavailable for Singapore's opening fixture against Thailand. And he takes strike for his first ball. Just nudged away to long on, and he's off the mark. A successful over from Malaysia. Just the 6 runs off it. Singapore now 97 for 1. Kizar Hayat now reintroduced into the attack. So spin from both ends. Interesting strategy with the ball turning in to Tim David. Kizar Hayat, of course, not a huge turner of the ball. Tends to fire it in. And that's exactly what he's done. Fired it in. First ball. Right on target. Fired in once again, very quick. And that's down to fine leg, who just about manages to cut it off. Encouragement there from Malaysian veteran Anwar Aradin. So a little more energy in the field here from Malaysia, who just dragged things back. And that's a massive shot attempted. And yes, that's over mid-wicket, a slog sweep for 6 from Tim David. So he's on his way. Tim David, he'll feel good about that one. As mentioned, not a lot of success or big scores for Tim in recent times. Kazar Hayat shortens his length, and he's been put away for yet another 6. Over mid-wicket, once again, Tim David strong on the sweep, strong off the back foot, showing why he is one of the most dangerous batsmen in this Singaporean lineup and in this tournament. Back-to-back 6s for the Singapore-born Western Australian. Tim's dad, Rod David, of course, also playing for Singapore. Short once again. Kept a little bit low. 15 runs off this over so far. Still 1 ball left. Kazar Hayat has not been a good day for him. And that's just nudged away. Will be interesting to see how Siddhant approaches the remainder of his innings. So Singapore, of course, losing that wicket to Surendran Chandramohan, falling 3 short of what may well have been a well-deserved half-century. Siddhant Singh, he's not out on 44. Tim David walks to the crease and powers 2 maximums. Fitri Sham, really the only bowler who's managed to keep things quiet, conceding 18 runs at just a run a ball, picking up Malaysia's only wicket. He's replaced, however, by Pavandeep Singh. Pavandeep will be bowling to Siddhant, who flays that through the offside, and he finds the gap between the fielder at deep cover and Syed Aziz Mubarak off. So runs coming from both ends throughout this innings for Singapore. Siddhant Singh now just 2 runs away from yet another half-century. So it seems like Singapore have indeed found an opening partner for Surendran Chandramohan. Siddhant just looking leg side, perhaps thinking about nudging it away for 2. Guys that down to third man for a single. It's not often that you see Pavandeep Singh going for more than 30 runs in his quota of 4 overs. In fact, it's not often that you see him going for more than 6 or 7 runs an over. And he's still got 4 balls left in his spell. Just flights that up. Tim David has swept that away to the left of fine leg, an easy boundary. He's raced on to 20 off just 7 balls. A dangerous cameo here so far from Tim, sweeping that off the stumps. If he missed that, he would have been plumb in front. Not to be, however. Pavandeep now having conceded 10 runs and over so far. And Tim once again eyeing up that same gap. Will Pavandeep just shorten his length here? That's exactly what he does off the back foot. Tim looking for yet another boundary, and he does find it. To the left of cover this time. Singapore perhaps eyeing up a score in the region of 200, which would comfortably be the highest score so far in the tournament. Singapore's batsmen, as things stand, just batting Malaysia out of the game. Another short ball down the leg side. Pressure certainly telling on Malaysia, who've leaked just a shade over 10 runs and over so far. And that's worked away intelligently. Just a single. Tim David, very highly rated in Singaporean cricketing circles and the associate cricket scene. We all know he does have the power game. But if he gets set, this could be an unassailable total here from Singapore. That brings to an end Pavandeep's spell. He has leaked 41 runs in his quota. How often do we say that? Tim David, 25 of just 9 balls. He's been in imperious form. Fithri Sham, the curious case of Fithri Sham and why he was taken out of the attack. He's conceded just 18 runs in his 3 overs. Who does skipper Ahmed Faiz turn to? Unable to keep Singapore quiet in the power play and after the power play. What does he do? How does he slow down the Singaporeans? And he's turned to his pace bowling spearhead, Shazrul Idris. What can he do? Just misses his length. Tim David, too good to miss out on that. Straight down the ground. Yet another boundary. Tim David well on course to perhaps registering the quickest half century in this tournament. So a bad start there from Shazrul. Straight once again. A brief stare down at Tim David. Skipper Ahmed Faiz just trying to encourage, G up the rest of his team. And that's a full toss. And that is yet another maximum over deep mid-wicket. Perhaps lucky to get away with the no ball there. As we watch this replay. Nope, just below the waist. Didn't matter to Tim. Swung away for yet another maximum. So Malaysia continue to bleed runs. 200 definitely on the cards now for Singapore. Still 3 balls left in this over. Shazrul will not be enjoying himself so far. Oh, and that's massive. That's over the head of long off. Consecutive maximums once again for Tim David. A truly relentless assault from him. He's into his 40s. As we check out the replay of those consecutive maximums. First over mid-wicket. And then Shazrul Idris missing his length once again. Just unable to find that Yorker. And now a change of angle. He's coming around the wicket. Is it going to make a difference? It does for now. A valuable dot. A rare dot. "16 runs off the over so far. 1 ball left. And that's just nudged off the legs for a quick 2. Tim David with those long legs makes it in easy. So 18 runs off that over. 146 for 1 now, Singapore. 6 overs left to play with. Both Tim and Siddhant in the 40s now. And no Malaysian bowler has been able to keep Singapore quiet. Except, of course, for Fitri Sham. That scoring trend worm not looking very good for Malaysia. Great acceleration here from Singapore in the last few overs. So that wicket of Surendran Chandramohan, if anything, was a blessing in disguise for Singapore. Things just going from bad to worse for Malaysia. Siddhant Singh, of course, looking for back-to-back 50s. Kizar Hayat. Once again. And that's nudged away. A call for 2. Just a single. That's 50 for Siddhant of 38 balls. Started cautiously, providing able support to Surendran Chandramohan. Led the post-power play acceleration. And now once again, he's supporting Tim David. Big returns from the fast bowling all-rounder. Making the most of his chance to bat up the order. Tim David with a reverse sweep this time. Goes over backward point. There's no stopping these two. Tim David. Strong power game from Tim David. And now showing us that he can be inventive with that reverse sweep. Another one. And once again, he nails this. And he brings up his 50 in just 17 balls. A strike rate of 300. Tim David dealing in boundaries. Singapore relentless. Perhaps the experience of playing higher ranked associates at the T20 World Cup qualifiers paying dividends for the Singaporeans. Remember, this is the team that beat Scotland in their first match in Dubai. Nudged away for a single. Singapore in the last year having beaten, among others, Nepal, Canada, Scotland, and Zimbabwe. All in the space of 13 weeks. Oh, gone. That one just goes on with the arm. A much needed dot ball from Kizar Hayat. Siddhant now just slowing down just a touch. Surely he's got to go for it as well. Just over 5 overs left in the innings. And he nudges that off his hips. Just a single, he's going to keep strike, and Malaysia will not complain. 11 runs off the over. Yet another over goes by for Malaysia, where they leak double figures.